All right, welcome back, guys. It's Clay with 02 Target. Raining outside. It's a gloomy day. Perfect day to watch YouTube and watch the other videos on my channel. But today we'll be talking about 5 beginner tips that just I wish I would have known whenever I first started shooting guns when I was really young, or even adults that are just now getting into it. Just 5 beginner tips, or just tips in general that I think everybody should know. More for beginners, but videos for everybody. For number one, it would be learn and live the rules of firearm safety. So I think, in my opinion, there's 4 main ones. Treat every gun as if it's loaded. Never point a gun at anything you don't want to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and know your target and what's beyond it. Now, I went more in depth in these in my last video of safety tips, but I feel like they're pretty self-explanatory. To treat every gun as if it's loaded. You'd rather treat an unloaded gun as if it's loaded than a loaded gun as if it's unloaded, because that's when mistakes happen, and that's when really tragic things happen. So really think that one is. And then never point a gun at anything you're not willing to destroy. Never point it at anybody you're not willing to take their life, not an animal you're not willing to take its life. Always point it in a safe direction, at the ground, at the ceiling. Even don't point it at your TV unless you want a hole going through your TV, stuff like that. And then keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. That's pretty self-explanatory. It stops those mistakes from happening, because that trigger is not just going to randomly pull itself. Drop it. Some guns go off. You know which one I'm talking about. But that eliminates a lot of the possibilities of mistakes happening. And know your target and what's beyond it. If you're hunting, if you're at a range, stuff like that, it's just really good to know what's beyond it. Like, say you're hunting, but you don't know what's beyond it. There could be a house right on the other side of that, and it could just right into the house, So that's a big thing. Number 2, this one's more for beginners. Start with a simple, reliable gun. Maybe like a 9mm handgun, or if you want like a rifle, or you're really new, really young to guns, maybe like a 22 long rifle. Good handgun brands, in my opinion. Or comment if you think there's other ones that are really good. These are just 3. Would be Glock, Smith & Wesson, and then SIG. I feel like those are all really good. Those kind of teach you trigger discipline. It's a smaller gun, not as much recoil as, say, like a 5.56 or a 2.23. It's a really good beginner gun to kind of get you into guns. 22 rifle, maybe if you're like a little younger or kind of scared of the recoil. 22 long rifle is going to be very, very low recoil, and you can learn the basics and main fundamentals of shooting. You don't need like fancy gear if you can't shoot fancy. That's all I'm saying. Don't go get a $5,000 AR and it's your first gun, because that gun is only as good as you can shoot. Number 3, this one more depends, but it's take a class, not just like watch YouTube videos. You can learn so much from just one class. Like, you can learn how you want your grip, your stance, trigger control, safe handling, etc., stuff like that. And it's worth every dollar to learn and be safe than it is to just like watch YouTube videos. Because everybody has a plan until the plan kicks them in the face, Like, you may think you're going to shoot a gun this way, but then when you actually have a gun in your hand pulling the trigger, it's going this way, So it's better to just get out there with a teacher, with a class, learn that way. Number 4, dry fire is a cheat code. Safely. Emphasis on the safely part. It's very, very important to make sure that gun is unloaded. Triple check, quadruple check. Check 37 times if you have to. And you can even use dummy rounds that aren't going to go off. They sell them at like Dick's, Academy, stuff like that, like $5-10. Probably get them online for cheaper if you want. But it's a cheat code. It can help with trigger discipline, draw techniques, and sight alignment. Kind of teach you that. Like, always point it in a safe direction. So if you're doing it, like, point it at the ground, point it at the ceiling, make sure it's unloaded. Be super safe when you do it. That is very important. But it's a very good way. Also, trigger pull, stuff like that. and always point in a safe direction. Goes back to number one, the 4 main rules. Point the gun in a safe direction just in case. You could check that gun 37 times, check it 38 just in case. But I do feel like dry fire is a cheat code with certain guns. Not every gun dry fire would actually damage it, but if you are able to dry fire or get a dummy round, or they even sell like laser kits with targets, also get one of those. It's a raining day like this. I don't have any ranges near me. I'm not driving an hour to go shoot in 30-degree weather while it's raining. To each their own, but I'm not doing that. Maybe if it was like 20 minutes, maybe, but I'm not doing that. So dry firing, the little bullet mechanisms that you can put in the gun have like red lasers and come with a little target. That's a good option. Dummy rounds are a cheap option. But yeah, I think dry fire is a cheat code when you do it safely. So not dry fire if there's a bullet in there. All I'm saying. Number 5, don't rush into modding your gun. I've seen through my family, through Reddit, the main rule is to shoot 1,000 rounds before you do anything to your guns. You know, learn the fundamentals in the gun as is before you mod anything. It saves money and time because you shoot 1,000 rounds, you're now experienced with that gun. You know what you want to change instead of just kind of lollygagging around changing anything you want. That helps you save money because now, like say you don't like the trigger pull, now you know to get a new trigger. Whereas if you just got a gun, you have to kind of play by ear, you know. So I would definitely say shoot at least 1,000 rounds through it. Or if you're like I have my AR, say I'm getting another AR, and I already know that trigger's not good. That's a different story. But this is for beginners. So, but yeah, Matt, I would before you go to any optic, any scope, anything like that, master an iron sights because you never know what's gonna happen. Like me, my concealed carries, I don't run an optic on them at all. I don't run optic, red dot, nothing like that. Straight iron sights. Because I don't have to worry about them failing. Whereas like an optic, you can get the most reliable one, but something will always happen. So expect something to always happen. So I'd say master iron sights. Like my AR right here, it has the iron sights. I mastered it on those before I even got this. So yeah. Yeah, that's the main 5 beginner tips I would give to any beginner. If you agree with these, let me know down below. Or if you have any other tips, leave them in the comments. Beginners, go read the comments. If you see there's a lot down there, if you see there's none down there, then I guess you just gotta trust me. I'm not a bad guy, so I guess you could trust me. But yeah, like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching.